Federal Reserve is not federal. How many of you did not know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal? If you didn't, don't be shy. If you didn't know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal, raise your hand. Most people don't know that.
My name is Tommy Springfield, and it's my goal to be the king of all things talk. I may not be there yet, but with your help, one day I may reach those goals. If you follow me, or maybe you're new here, my plan is to always bring you the truth based off the facts. Today's truth and facts, we have a former IRS agent who tells it all. I remember seeing this years ago, and it bumped up on my timeline, and I know people are going to fight back and resist it. But the point is, until we, the people, under the rules of the Constitution, as it says, we, the people, come together, we'll never get our proper due. But enough of me talking. Let's get to the video.
Federal Reserve is not federal. How many of you did not know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal? If you didn't, don't be shy. If you didn't know before today that the Federal Reserve isn't federal, raise your hand. Most people don't know that. 9 out of 10 people that I asked off the street don't understand that the Federal Reserve...
And be honest, how many people really thought the IRS or the Federal Reserve was a government entity? I only know because I do a lot of research. I'm always Googling stuff, and I knew people that worked there, and some of the people that even work there still don't believe it ain't a government agency, but it's not.
Is a non-auditable private banking cartel. They are collecting $36 million an hour in interest from the American people. $36 million an hour in interest from the American...
$36 million an hour just in interest. Not profits, interest.
People. My children, my 2 children.
And mind you, this is old. This is like 10, 15, 20 years old. So imagine what they're collecting now.
Were born $86,000 in debt based on the national debt. Now, why am I going to take away from those children to give to somebody that's going to be born in 2030? That's not going to happen. So that was my decision. It was very easy. You know, you think about stuff like fear. Oh, the IRS is going to get you. They're going to take your stuff. That's not important to me. Stuff's not important to me. My children are important to me. I'm one of those mothers that will roll up her sleeves with one leg and try to whoop you if you mess with my children. And I think that a lot of mothers are like that. So this is what my decision was. And I went on and started educating people. One of the things that people asked me once I made this decision and started talking about it, how are we going to run the country without the income tax? I don't know how much Dan got into it, but the Grace Commission report that Ronald Reagan put out in 84, says that none of the money collected in income tax goes towards running the country. But the bottom line is it's not going towards running the country, so you patriotic people out there, you've been fooled.
You heard it. None of the money that you give for taxes go towards running the country. You've been tricked. You've been fooled. You heard her. I know y'all gonna argue with her. Y'all gonna debate her. But this is her experience from being an FBI agent.
Beardsley Rummel, he was Federal Reserve Chairman back in 1946, did a speech before the American Bar Association. The title of his speech was Taxes for Revenue Are Obsolete. Within the body of this report, he says that the taxes, the income taxes for redistribution of wealth. What is redistribution of wealth? What is that? That's taking from me that I've worked hard for and giving it from somebody else to somebody else. Shouldn't I have the right to redistribute my wealth if I want to? Another question that they ask me is, how come I haven't heard this on TV, or on the radio, or in the newspaper?
And that's a fact. If people don't hear it on the radio, or the newspaper, or the TV, they won't believe it. You could be telling them the God's our truth. They won't believe it. And now, that was back then. Now it's even worse. If their favorite celebrity or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube influencer ain't telling them, it ain't true.
Well, sweetie, the simple answer to that is the same people who own the television stations and the newspapers and the radio stations are the same people who are involved with the Federal Reserve. And here is a little statement that says that it only requires 5% ownership to significantly influence the media. Rockefeller is one of the original shareholders of the Federal Reserve. As early as 1963, the House Banking Subcommittee reported that Rockefeller, through Chase Manhattan Bank, controlled 5.9% of the stock in CBS and the bank and gained interlocking directorates with ABC.
So, what do you think?
I went all the way through high school, all the way through college, all the way through testing for the CPA, and all this Irish training and didn't hear about any of this. You think they want this information out here? For you guys to eat up and chew up and find out what's really going on? I don't think so.
What you think, man? Like I said, I followed her many years ago. I forgot what her name is, but you could look up this video. You can find her. You can follow her, and I think she even has a $1 million bounty on if you could find where in any of the U.S. tax books it says you have to pay taxes, and she said she'll give you $1 million. Or that's how it started. Someone or one of her professors or someone told her, I'll give you $1 million if you could find in the U.S. tax code where it says the U.S. citizen has to pay taxes. And she said she ain't collected that money yet. But get in the comment section, hit that like, share, subscribe if you like stories like this. And over here, my goal is just to give you facts and answers and some little bit of history, you know. My goal is not to just talk negatively about black people or any people. I believe all people need to come together and be we the people of the Constitution. And if you can't comprehend that, cut the shit. That part.